Hey, y'all, and welcome to day 16 of the WSOP and to the fourth annual WSOP and all Vegas Poker Daily Spaces coverage. I'm Sherry Pluskota, aka Peaches. Glad you're joining us either currently or at a future time. I appreciate y'all. Please be reminded that we will always try to give the most updated and accurate information possible, but we are human and the information is always fluid in the poker world. So please be sure to double check any information we provide to ensure yourself the best experience possible. And please correct us if we're wrong. We want to get it right. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel at Sherry Pluskota 9212. We are uploaded till day 14. So tomorrow and today should be loaded hopefully by later today. I have day 15 ready to go. I don't have day 16, of course, because we're doing it right now. So those are all updated if anybody needs to know that. And of course, you can find the spaces and interviews that I've done in the past on that YouTube channel. Don't forget the meetup game is at the Bellagio on June the 26th at 2 p.m. It is a cash game. There will be pizza provided by the folks of the Bellagio. And we have Sean McCormick and Craig Larson to thank for that hospitality for sure. They always take great care of us. And we have some fantastic Splash the Pot items and some fantastic attendance prizes. And don't forget to wear your red, white, and blue because we're going to do a special drawing for all the people that have red, white, and blue on that day. Lots going on. So excited about that for sure. Little shout out to Bling Ting, who made a donation to the charity Poker Gives, which of course is what we're using to collect donations to feed the homeless in Vegas. And we're doing that through raffle tickets for that one of a kind autographed quilt. Of course, your donations are tax deductible. A $10 donation gets you one ticket. A $25 donation will get you five tickets. And I appreciate Bling Thing tweeting yesterday that he made a donation to that cause. So appreciate it. Some other folks have also DM'd me or put on social media that they too have been making donations. So I really appreciate it. Right now, I'm hoping to get over the $1,000 mark. Of course, I had set a lofty goal, but you know what? Anything matters. Anything matters. So no matter what we raise, I will be proud of it for sure. Today, we're going to have Josh Dibble, otherwise known in the world of Twitter, Dibz, on with us, and we're going to get to know him and some of the stuff he does in real life. So, looking forward to that. Also, I put a poll up. Club WPT Gold put a billboard on Las Vegas Boulevard, and we're not going to talk about it. We're just going to let you watch it. I retweeted it so you can watch the video of that billboard. And then I put a poll, and I want everybody to take the poll. We're not going to talk about it because I don't want to influence anybody's decision of their choice on that poll. So I want to take a poll and we'll look at it again, maybe by the end of this space. And then, of course, we'll talk about it tomorrow. So please take that poll when you get a minute. It's just for the fun of it, people, just for the fun of it, but it is still kind of cool. So take the poll. Also, I've been working to secure prizes for a contest I'm trying to do. So I just reached out to somebody else this morning. Of course, it wasn't very long ago, and she's on Vegas time, so we probably won't have an answer to it during this space. But as soon as I find out, we're going to hit the ground running with this little contest I want to do. And again, it's for the fun of it. I've been collecting um, baby and childhood pictures from different people in our spaces lives. And I made two collages of these pictures, and they're numbered. And you're going to have to guess who the people are in the pictures. Who is this baby picture, or who is this childhood picture of? I think it's going to be fun. We got some fun pictures, and you're going to be like, Okay, what was the mom thinking? And just think back on some of them of the old Olin Mills pictures or Sears pictures. And if you know, you know, because there are definitely a couple of those that as soon as I saw it, I was like, oh my God, Olin Mills. It had to be Olin Mills. But, and I used to work for Olin Mills, which kind of makes it even funnier for me anyway. So, anyway, as soon as I secure some prizes or something to do for the winner, at least of that contest, we'll get it underway. I want to reveal the winner and who is pictured in the collages the day of this meetup game. So we'll do that at the meetup game. It should be fun. I love it. I love doing stuff like that. I'm such a fucking square. But anyway, here we go. Okay, welcome, Joey. Welcome, ASG. How are you guys doing?
Good morning, Sherry. I'm pretty good. Just sitting out here changing Tracy's battery because, everything dies in the desert heat. You get that.
Oh, you know, if you take it over to which one of those, I think both of the, um, did you take it to a parts store or to Walmart to get it exchanged out?
She brought it to. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. She went to Costco, and
Oh,
but
yeah.
they don't,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but they don't swap it out. Well, I guess they'll bring it back, the old one back, but they wouldn't do the work, and everything was corroded. They wouldn't have wanted to done it. Trust me. But the trick,
Oh,
Colette told me the trick: baking soda and water, and it
yeah.
just neutralizes all the acids, and you have these brand new terminals. Pretty cool.
Very cool. That's a good piece of advice for sure. And if you folks, if that happens, I bet you can jump it off and drive it somewhere. Like those auto parts stores, they'll swap it out for you. Like that happened to me when I went to Rome, Georgia to see my daughter's. She was recruiting. So I drove up there. And of course, when I go to leave the parking lot, my battery's dead. But we jumped it off and took it over to the parts store and they swapped it out. I just went in and paid for it. And the guy's like, yeah, I'll bring it out. And he put it in and I gave him a little tip because I was so thankful. He's like, you don't have to. I'm like, no, have lunch on me. I'm good. I'm like so thankful right now. Right.
Right, exactly.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hey, SG, how are you, pal?
All right. I found a news story, but I want to wait till Isaac's here or something.
Okay. Okay.
'Cause, or Barry comes up. Something
Okay.
crypto related. I don't know English.
Yeah.
Or I don't know crypto. You don't know crypto.
You don't know crypto English.
Exactly. So, yeah, I need somebody here
Okay.
who can translate.
All right, set on it. As soon as we get some folks on the panel that you want to have that conversation with, just bring it up, buddy. Just bring it up. All right. I am going to say that there was a tweet going on around, or a couple of them. I don't even know, but it did come across my desk, as you say, that the Palms is reopening or reopened their poker room. That is not true. The Palms did not open their poker room back up or whatever. There just was, I guess, some AI stuff going on. And so the Palms is not opening or has not opened a poker room. ASG, you want to comment on any of that?
Yeah, it's the Nikki P thing all over again. AI reads something, doesn't know how to translate it. All of a sudden, Nick Petrangelo is getting into fights with Sean Deeb. The Palms is open in the poker room. Don't always, you know, they see like, okay. So if anybody wasn't aware, I guess we should mention the that Rivals series. Those three games were at the
Right,
Palms, where
right,
that's where they recorded that stream.
right.
So that's where they came up with the idea that the Palms had opened their poker room.
Right. So AI picked up on it as they reopened their poker room. So we just want to be clear so nobody runs over there thinking they're going to go check out a new poker room and wasted an Uber ride or whatever, or just their time getting over there. So Palms is not opening a poker room. Be reminded, Papa Poker will be back with us this Saturday. Looking forward to that and what he wants to chat with us about. And I also just want to quickly go over the non-bracelet events at the WSOP today because I haven't done it since a week or so ago. So I think it's time. So at 12 p.m. is the $70 Colossus landmark. At 1 p.m. is a $250 no limit deep stack. At 3 p.m. is a $240 landmark for $2,000 in casino chips. At 3 p.m. is also a $250 PLO deep stack. At 4 p.m. is a deep stack turbo. At 7, and that's a $400 buy-in. At 7 p.m. is an $1,100 landmark satellite. At 8 p.m. is a $200 deep turbo tournament. At 10 p.m. is a $135 landmark tournament for $1,000 in casino chips. And be reminded, those landmarks and satellites are going on every day. So you could definitely check the WSOP app, or pretty sure it'll also be on what's the other app that we use? Poker. Oh my goodness, my mind just went blank. What's it called?
I don't know if it's
Poker
on that
Atlas.
list. Yeah.
Poker Poker Atlas. I don't know if it's on there or not. Um, um, I don't know. I can't answer that question, but it definitely is on the WSOP application, and you can, they're there every day. I'm not going to read them out every day, but be reminded there are satellites going on at the WSOP every single day. Check that app for that. It just gets to be too much to read every day. Sorry, folks. Sorry, not sorry, maybe. Joey, I'm going to turn it over to you for our lesson today. And please remind us about the giveaway that you told us about the other day. Joey Gargiulo, folks, take it away.
You got it. So after I do this lesson, I will be putting a link in the comments where you can go on Amazon just from now until Sunday and download a free copy of my book, The Poker Dance, which for 8 weeks in a row is the #1 new release poker book on Amazon. And this is my gift to everybody. I would love for one thing only, is I don't care if you love it or hate it, but please write an honest review, because I just need reviews. Good, bad, indifferent. I need a checkpoint. And if it was one
Right.
group that I trust, it's you guys. So
Awesome. Well, thank you for that download. And of course, we're going to write reviews, people. Get to it.
okay. Let me go out where there's better lighting. I'm sorry. So today we're going to talk about the big elephant in the room. And we see it all the time here in Vegas, especially during summer camp. And that has to do with chasing losses. Okay? There's no other way to say it. And we see it all the time. So I'm going to read from the 30-day poker coach, and then we'll reflect. There is a dangerous moment in poker when a player stops playing the current hand and starts trying to repair the session. Once that shift happens, the game gets very expensive. Chasing losses is not just bad. It's bad bankroll management. It's emotional mismanagement. You get stuck and suddenly everything becomes about getting even. You start feeling urgency where no urgency should exist. You begin justifying loose calls, forced bluffs, bigger shots, and bad risks because in your mind, the night now has to be fixed. But poker owes you nothing. The deck does not care that you got coolered. The next hand is not a reimbursement plan. The table is not there to restore your emotional balance. This is where players go off the rails. They tell themselves they're being determined, but what they really are being is desperate. Determination stays clear. Chasing gets cloudy. It narrows the focus to money. It narrows the focus to money instead of decision quality. It turns the session into a rescue mission. And this can happen fast, my friends. one ugly hand, one lost flip, one failed bluff, and suddenly the internal dialogue changes. I need to get this back. I need to get even. These are the things that the voices in our head say to ourselves. The trouble is that that mindset almost never improves the decision. It actually speeds the decisions up. It makes us overplay spots. It makes us carry emotional pain into hands that had nothing to do with what just happened. The solution, my friends, starts with acceptance. Sometimes we are going to chase losses, sometimes unfairly. But if we just understand that sometimes we're going to lose, because we will lose repeatedly, then we understand that's just part of the game. It's not a glitch in poker. It is poker. It's the yin and yang. We can't win if we also don't lose. You get that? The faster we accept that, the less likely you are to turn one bad result into a second and a third and a fourth by forcing things. A very useful question after a painful pot is this. If this were the very first hand of the session, what would I do? That question strips away emotional residue and returns you to the present, because present time poker is where good decisions live. Chasing lives in the past. A chasing player is rarely trying to win a hand, they're trying to heal a wound. And poker is not the place to do emotional surgery. And I know I wrote that about like a cash session, but if you think about it, doesn't it also apply to a series, whether it be a circuit stop or something, or a summer camp? Saw it the other day, sitting at a table, and we were in the money. It was a $600 bracelet event, but the story from the man next to me, he's talking about 8 bullets in the mini mystery bounty, 3 bullets in this one, 3 in this 1500, 7 bullets in this one. Where do you stop, right? And we see this all the time. And everybody's like, oh, just one big score. And I could tell the way that player was playing, they were beyond scared money. They were desperate. They were forcing situations that shouldn't have been forced. And they were acting as if they had a fire lit under their ass, that they had to do something right now. And once again, that player busted out of another tournament just like that. We see it all the time, my friends. Just a reset. Start all over. Be in the present, be in the now. We have to just let it go. I will put that link to that free download. And I would love to hear about somebody's experiences, because I cannot be the only one that has done this. And tournament players, we're the worst if we also play cash, because what do? We start out in the 10 a.m. That goes sideways. We jump into 1 p.m. That goes sideways. We jump into 7 p.m. And then when there's no more tournaments to enter, we jump in the cash table. Let it go. There's always tomorrow. Peace out, my friends.
That's so true.
Mhm.
So true. Thank you for that lesson, Joey. And those that have been around have heard me say this before, especially the folks that were with me in my Flophouse radio days. I sort of have this attitude. If I have to shoot 6 bullets, I shouldn't be at that table. I should be at a practice table. I used to say that all the time. If I can't do it on 1 bullet, maybe even 2, I need to be at a practice table, not at a live poker table. Like, I need to go back to the drawing board and get better. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't times that I would rebuy in, because maybe the second hand of the tournament, my aces got busted by 7 deuce offsuit, and I still want to play the tournament, right? So it's not, or the value is there, right? So it's not that I'm saying that there aren't times that you should rebuy in. What I'm saying is, for me, I'm proud to do it on one bullet. I'm very proud to do it on one bullet. As a matter of fact, I'm having a hard time in the green visor game because I'm forcing myself. I can have 3 bullets in the phase 7 games. And literally, I think the last or two times I tried to purposely push my luck in hands because I want to use the rebuy. I'm like, I have another rebuy. Who cares? It is not for me. Like, that attitude is so screwy. I don't know how people do it. Like, oh, a quick double up. And, no, this is not me. So that's my 2 cents. ASG, you have any comments?
Yeah, I need a bad beat jackpot to get even.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at you, but that was comical.
No,
I don't
that's
mean
my favorite line. I like to use it often.
that shit's funny. Not that you're in a hole, but you know what I mean. Go ahead, Joey. Anything else?
Yeah, I just want to say, because we make assumptions that everybody understands and knows about how ebooks work, but some people do not know.
Right.
You do not need a Kindle device. Amazon bought Kindle. Kindle is a free app now. So when you see Kindle, you could download it and you could have it right on your phone, no extra costs. But a lot of people don't know that, and I just had to put that out there.
I'm glad you did. And of course, Joey is letting us download his book called Poker Dance free of charge. Just leave him leave him a review, because as an author, they need that to um, further what they're trying to do with their writing and getting published and so on and so forth. So definitely leave a review, folks. Download that copy today. He's going to make that available. So watch for the link. Um, Tomorrow's lesson, what you got for us?
Oh, tomorrow. Let's move on to something a little bit better here. Small edges add up.
Oh, I like it.
Mm.
And you know what? Fold small blind comes to my mind for some reason. When you
Oh,
said that, I was like,
yes.
fold small
100%.
blind. All right. Appreciate you, Joey. Great lesson today. Um, I don't know about you, but I can't believe it's day 16. And yet, oh my God, I can't believe it's only day 16. And I had a hard time this morning. Like, my mind wasn't right this morning. And all I could say to myself was, let's just do it. And guess what? When it's over, you'll be happy because you made it through day 16. I can't get up chipper every day, folks. As much as I like to think I can, I just have a lot going on, and yeah, day 16's catching up with me.
Yes. Oh my, it is. We feel the grind and we're not even at the tables every single day. So imagine how the players feel that never gave themselves a
Right.
break, right? Oh boy.
Right. And all I could think of last night was, how the hell am I going to do this when I'm in Vegas? But I've done it before. We could do it. We could do it. We could do it. We could do it. And that's probably going to mean I'm going to be live from the WPA desk, sitting outside of the ballroom, collecting signatures 2 days, the week I'm in town. So, which can be fun too, depending on who walks up to that table, right?
Terry, can you remind everybody what that table is going to be?
Yes. Yep. As far as I know, it's going to be in the same place it was last year. But of course, until that week, will we know for sure. But the WPA always has a table between the offices where the in-person registration is and the Paris Ballroom. There's that hallway you go down in order to get to registration. So
Mhm.
registration's on the left and the ballroom's on the right. It's right outside the ballroom doors. There's tables set up there for us, and that's the WPA, and they're graciously allowing me some of their table space so that I can bring the quilt and gather some signatures those 2 days, the 24th and the 25th of June. So,
Yes.
um, very cool. Very cool indeed. So I'll be probably going live because I don't have the time yet from them as far as, again, and I want to wait. And the type of person that when something this big is going on, I tend to wait until the week of to ask for final times because they just change. Things happen, things change. And so I feel like I get the best data or information the few days before. So I'm thinking because the ladies' event, I believe, is starting at noon, maybe that maybe I'll set up myself with the with our space down near there. Near there, I'll find somewhere to just hang out until, um, you know, the booth is set up or whatever. So I'm gonna play it by ear, but we're used to pivoting here in the spaces. Thank you for that question for sure. Just a reminder to everybody, the Mixed Game Festival is still going on at the Bellagio Poker Room through tomorrow. That's the Mixed Game Festival over at the Bellagio. Barry. Hey, Barry, how are you, pal? Welcome.
Hey Sherry, what's going on? I heard ASG has some questions, so I figured I'd come up and answer them.
Yes, we
First,
love that.
first things first, we have the best pizza. Forget about Connecticut. Don't even worry about it.
I
Se-
beg to differ. Chicago does, but go ahead, ASG, with your questions.
that's not
Okay.
pizza. That's like pie. And the second,
Oh, we have thin crust.
the second answer is yes. Solana's a shitcoin. Go ahead. What's your question?
Well, that's what it's about. Is WSOP said now they're taking Solana. So yeah, what's this all about? Why Solana, et cetera, et cetera.
They probably paid to sponsor, and just like you can have a booth at the WSOP, Solana paid to be a sponsor. Like Copay is their cards. Same thing.
Okay, so you say it's a shit coin. So how volatile is this thing?
Well, I mean, it's been around since 2020. The highs were up to like 275, pretty much where I got out. Now it's 65. So it's been
Well,
going
I'm
down
saying
ever
like,
since.
some. Let's say you bought some Solana at the beginning of the series for your buy-ins. How much do you think your Solana would be going up and down by the time you got to the main event?
Yeah, not much. That doesn't swing like that. I mean, when it dumps, it dumps. Like most coins, Bitcoin, all the coins, when they dump, they dump. But it's not usually like that.
Okay, and then what kind of fees do you normally have with this? Like, how is this compared to like paying with a credit card?
Much, much, much smaller. I mean, out of all the coins that they're using for all these people that are now accepting different types of crypto, Solana is probably one of the cheapest. So, but that being said, I wouldn't like use it as my savings account that you can gain 1 or 2% on. Like it will fluctuate, and one day you'll have 10,000, then you'll have 8,800, then you'll have 11,1. It floats over the course of weeks and months. But to use a
Okay,
quick transaction just to save a fee, you don't have to worry.
let's say it's available next year. Will you be using it?
I mean, if I happen to have some extra in my wallet, but I'm not just going to buy it to hold it to use at the series to
Okay.
save $3. It's not
Do you think the
necessarily
Euros will use it? Like, who is this for? Like, or is this for like people who maybe you're taking their money out of like ACR and those sites that use crypto, or like, who are really going to be the people who are going to be taking it? You know, I can't think of another words besides taking advantage of this, but like, who's really going to be using Solana instead of any of the other purchasing options?
Well, like you said, to save fees. It's definitely a viable option. All these crypto sites, these crypto poker sites, the crypto gambling sites, and just Coinbase itself. Just buying the crypto to use it to buy in and save fees. Like you said, some people are trapped with bags from 2021 that they never sold, and they're just round tripping, and they might want to use it. But I can't see people using it like if they've been hoarding a stack, they're not gonna use it to buy into an event when it's at like an all-time low.
Well, let's not forget, I would think it's more about the WSOP putting a bag of money in their pocket. Don't you think?
Correct.
For
I
sure.
mean, come on.
We're just seeing like, how, is this good for players or indifferent for players, or like
Right.
besides the WSOP getting their bag, is this something we should be cheering about? Like, I have no idea. Like, that's what I was trying to get figure.
Well, right. And I think it's kind of funny that some are saying, drawing attention to the fact that certain patches were not allowed and that maybe this is the reason why or one of the reasons why. But, I think there's more reasons than that personally.
Oh, like coin or
Don't
yeah,
even,
okay.
let's not even go into it. It's just not even worth discussing because we can't change anything and everybody's got an opinion and it's okay. Like, I don't think we need to get in the weeds. Barry, what are you playing today?
After soft bubbling some shitty little horse yesterday, I'll be playing the 1500 horse at the WSOP.
Nice, nice. Good luck, buddy. Good luck. What did you
Thank-
think? What did you think? And I'm just going to say congrats to my Colts for taking down that tournament yesterday. We'll get into the details of it in a minute, but the reason I'm bringing it up now, what did you think of his little? Have you seen his video rant? Anybody?
I didn't see a video, but I saw he put up a post. This is how you close out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that was
put the
pretty funny.
video. Yeah, I put the link of the video in our chat. I honestly, I just have to laugh. I'm sorry. I love a good troll, right? Um, and honestly, I also think the WSOP missed the boat by not getting Mike Holtz and Maurice's table on the live feed as soon as they sat down together, that should have been moved to a live feed table. I'm sorry. We are here for that. That's the coverage we want to see. We want to see the Mike Holtz, Maurice Hawkins table or whatever. I mean, that's what we want to see, right? They were at a table and did we see a minute of it? Anyway, I'm off my soapbox about that. I did try to tune in last night for what I wanted to see. And of course, I'm on Eastern time. So by the time I was like, oh, I'm just going to bed, I didn't see anything I wanted to see. And am I disappointed? Yes. Will I have time today to go back and watch? No, because I'm busier than hell. And so, when I'm flying to Vegas this summer or in a couple weeks, that's what I'll be doing. I'm going to be watching all the replays because I can't watch it live. I can't watch it on replay right now. It's kind of frustrating, honestly. ASG, did you watch any of that?
Yeah, definitely a lot of what's his name, Stapes, trolling the chat and the audience. The chat wanted to watch the 600 because Negreanu was in it, and you know, first they were like, they'll be after dinner break. Nobody quite understood how long that would be, and then and then Negreanu got eliminated pretty quickly after it finally aired. So yeah, he was like, we come to shit for this. This is like turning on Star Wars right when Luke's arm gets cut off or something like that. And
Well, even the night before last, I wanted to watch Kessler. Who didn't want to watch Kessler the night before last? Try to get a bracelet.
yeah.
I don't know one person in my poker life that did not want to watch that live. Were we able to? No, I went to bed.
No, yeah, I don't think they really showed much of any of that. And this time they only showed it because they only showed the 600 PLO, any of it, because Neranu was on. And, D-Negs is one of the few people that, like, if he makes the final table, they'll show that table. But meanwhile, the 10K dealer's choice had, I mean, besides it being like a mixed game series that you don't see too often, like, so, you don't really get a chance to see that kind of stuff. The 10K dealer's choice had like a final table of like Nick Schulman, Chad Ellswave, Jake Osmus, Bryce Yaki finally won one. And, those are big names in the mixed game and
Yeah.
WSOP world and in the player of the year world. And meanwhile, they're showing, we just show more no limit hold'em of a tournament that's not even at the final table. You know the
We're
ironic thing.
missing the boat. We're missing the boat with
You know
this
what the
coverage.
yeah, the most ironic thing, I believe, I just thought of this last night, is the the WSOP streams go from Poker Go to not Poker Go, and I don't think I've ever seen Kerry Katz play, and now I've seen a ton of him this year.
That's funny. Go ahead, Joey, and then we'll get to Barry.
Yeah, so this has been my beef since the first few final tables. Because in the arena they have these three beautiful tables with,
Right.
right? And everything's all set up. And yet when like Jeff Matson, for instance, when he won his bracelet, we were in the corner at this dinky rink little table, right? Because
Yeah.
they had already had schedules of those other tables for live stream coverage for feature tables. How does a bracelet final table not be a feature table is beyond me. Makes no sense.
Yeah, and I get why you want to have a schedule, but maybe one of the tables should be scheduled so it could be flexible. Like maybe that should be the take here. Okay, two tables are going to have schedules. The third table we're just going to wing it every day with whatever the special interest table is, whatever the special interest story, whatever. Maybe that third table should be scheduled. Two tables scheduled. The third one is just on, hour to hour. We're going to figure out what's going to go there. And does that complicate things behind the scenes? Probably. But at the same token, you're going to give the people what they want to see, and your ratings and viewers are going to skyrocket. Imagine how many people would have watched Kessler's table. Imagine how many people want to watch Maurice's table, Mike Holtz's table. I mean, come on. Come on, you guys. I'm trying to help you out here. Go ahead, Barry.
Yeah, I think George Carlin said it best. It's a big club and you ain't in it. It's you get a few guys, 3, 5 guys that make these decisions, and they're gonna do what they want to do. Doesn't matter what the public wants. Doesn't matter what the people wants. Carrie Katz, wall to wall coverage now, because now he's he owns it. GG, like it's it takes 5 minutes to give out 8 seat cards and move players to a table that has the cameras around it. They could put any table they want and give coverage if they want it, but they just don't want to. They don't care that much. They claim it's such a big thing and scheduling and this and that. It's nonsense.
Yeah, I think there's a lot. I think there's a lot to it. Honestly, I really think there's a lot to it, but I do think that a simple solution is to have one table not scheduled. And I think that right now, next year you could do it, you can figure it out for next year after all the, baptism by fire this year. But I think a simple solution currently is to leave one table not scheduled. And I get why tables are scheduled because people want to, oh, there's a mixed game being, live fed today because they don't do that often. I mean, it's coming more often, but still, there are mixed game players that are waiting for the chance to watch a live feed with mixed games. So I get why scheduling some of it is important, but I also get why. I mean, news travels faster than social media. And somebody says Kessler's table's going live, you better believe that is the talk of Twitter. I mean, everybody's coming to that table to cheer him on, to troll him, whatever your case is with Kessler. So, I think a solution right now could be don't schedule the third table, do it every day on the fly. And like Barry said, all it takes is giving 8 people a card to move them over that table. And they could sign the release as they're walking over. So there you go.
Or
Uh,
at least, if you're not going to make, which I think should be the case, every final table be at least an outer stream table. At least the 10Ks should be. And to clarify what I was saying, Barry, is Kerry Katz owns Poker Go, who lost the rights to the WSOP, and now he's being shown more than ever because he's in all these high buy-in tournaments.
but Poker Go is still is still working on the production at the WSOP as well. So their hand is still in it. Um, in some form or fashion. And I beg to differ with you that if it's a 10K, it should be final table on live feed. I think any final table, I don't care what the dollar amount of the buy-in is, should have a chance to be on the
Oh
live
yeah.
feed.
Yeah, I'm saying all final tables, but especially the 10Ks. But yeah, all the final tables. Yes, I completely agree. Sorry.
No, I just want to be, I just want everybody to know I care about every level. Like, if you're at a final table, I want to see you there, especially if I know you. And if I don't, I want to get to know you. Why? Because you're playing poker, doing great. So anyway, anybody else have anything else to say on that matter?
Do we want to talk about Rigby?
Yeah, go ahead. He's being real critical right now because he doesn't feel like his wishes are coming true. Go ahead.
So, as I mentioned, D-Nix got eliminated pretty quick, but you would have known that if you were on Twitter, because however many hours before it was streamed because of the delay, and we can get into the delays being long, whatever. But anyway, the point is, no matter what, it would have happened. But yeah, when it happened, basically, Rigby put on his Twitter the screenshot of D-Nix getting eliminated by Hawkins when it happened. And people were like, "Oh, you're spoiling the stream." And anytime, or pretty much until he got bored of it, anytime somebody responded that he was spoiling, he posted the end of some famous movie. So like Kevin Spacey is Kaiser Soze, and Darth
He
Vader
was
is his
definitely doing
father.
all the spoilers from it's comical, but you guys have to understand that he has been saying, on tweets the last I don't know how many days his complaints about what's going on with the new Thunderdome and the live coverage, and he's very critical. Whether you agree with him or not, that's up to you. Whatever. I agree with him to a certain point, and then I don't agree with I disagree with some of the stuff he's saying as well. But it sort of is like a kid stomping his feet that he's not getting his way. Is kind of how it comes off if you follow the whole thing. But I get why he's
And
upset. I get we want it to be good, right? Go ahead.
no, I'm saying he was also the one on the during the rival game that he was there all 3 days of. The last day, he was wearing a T-shirt that said "All patches matter."
Yeah, which I also chuckle at. I'm telling you, I love a good troll. I love people with senses of humor. I love it. I love it. That's probably why I like Club WPT Gold's Twitter account because they're funny. Like, come on, bring humor back, people. But yeah, Rigby's not happy, and guess what? Here again, you're talking about having a live feed that's on how many hours delay. So is it really a live feed? And then you can't be upset when somebody spoils the outcome, because it's really not a live feed. And, it's a catch 22, isn't it? Yeah. Y'all, we had another 4 card flop yesterday. Did y'all see that? Ricky Rosen tweeted, and I'm just going to paraphrase. So we get we get, let me see. So we get a 4 card flop. The dealer pulls the turn card out and early burns and then plays on. No reshuffle. How in the world does it, with all that's been said about the 4 card flops in the last week, has this dealer have no clue what to do with a 4 card flop? Please, somebody tell me. Anybody? We can't even defend the dealer in this case. Go ahead, Joe.
Speechless. Like, yeah, it's like,
Oh,
how do you not have a staff meeting in the morning before everybody, right? They have their
yes.
morning huddle. Oh, by the way, if this happens, just so you know, this is the rule.
I,
Period. Mic
I
drop. Done.
and I can't even imagine that every dealer in not just at the WSOP, but in any poker room in the world, hasn't had a discussion about four card flops in the last week. I just can't believe that's true. I just can't. I cannot believe that somebody hasn't said to them while they're dealing, hey, what did you think about the four card flop? Or hey, what happens when you. I just can't imagine that every dealer has not heard something about a four card flop in the last week. I can't. Like, people want to talk about that. And I can't imagine that here I am talking about it again. Like, we're still doing this. Like, yes, it's an error, no problem. But we're still not handling it correctly. Come on. Meet with your people. Meet with your people. Please meet with your people. How many more? Should we take over and under of how many more four card flops we're going to hear about the rest of the WSOP? What do you think, ASG? Oh, he may be on a call. Barry, what do you think? Should we take overs and unders?
Oh, it's definitely going to happen again, and they're definitely going to make more mistakes. So it's futile at this point.
I know it. I know it. Go ahead, Joe. Or is it ASG?
Yeah,
Sorry, I
I
don't know
was
who
just gonna
to.
say, I wonder how much, even what's the word? When it's not intentional, but it's just in your brain. But basically, it, by having the dealer rating system, that the dealers don't want people waiting for the floor to come and this and that, and he could, oh, I'll just come up with this quick solution, and then we can, keep playing, and that's what the players want. So
Right.
you know,
Well, and that's one way to look at it. But I'm also thinking, wasn't there one player at that table that knew now, like maybe even newly gained knowledge of what to do in that situation? Nobody spoke up. Like, not one person spoke up. Like, that's also a problem for me. Like, we want it right, don't we? Or do we? I don't know. I don't know. It's just hard to believe that that's what took place. That, like, the dealer just made up their own way of doing it, and away they went. Oh my God! Hey, a little shout out to Kevin Mathers, went out 128th place out of 2,103 players in event number 31, which was the $1,500 Turbo Bounty Tournament. Congrats to Kevin Mathers, who took home a little bit over $2,300 for his efforts. Joey, how did you do yesterday at South Point?
I was doing really well, and it happens. Your queens get busted or whatever. But I could tell you one thing. There was a lot of people just walking there thinking they were just going to own this tournament. We were at South Point, and
Right,
it's a $300 tournament. But I'm looking around the room and I'm seeing Baby Shark and a bunch of other pros, and all the local grinders and stuff. But I
right.
do have a funny story though. So I show up there with a bunch of dealers, and Tracy was one of them. And it turns out that yesterday was National Sex Day. And the group decided, let's do a competition, $20 to the player who can record winning with the hand 69 at
Okay.
Showdown. Well, when you know it, you listen. Now all the tournament's not even important to me anymore. I just want to manifest this shit, right? And sure enough, not even like an hour in, I wake up in my small barn. I wasn't even thinking because I look at my cards and I see 9-6, and I'm like, God, this is 69. This is freaking great. Well, I flopped the gutter and I flopped the gutter draw and turned the straight. And now I'm like, like when you're in one of those deals, like where you, like it's like the jackpot or a bad, you know what I mean? Like the high
Right,
hand, like you have to go to
right.
showdowns. Now I'm like, I am slow playing this straight, and like, please bet into me, please bet into me, like you know what I mean? But and so then I recorded the whole thing, and I was like, thank you, universe, because I made back 1/3 of my buy-in.
That
So
a
it was good.
way. I love it. Always gambling. We're always gambling, something side betish, and it's okay. It makes it fun sometimes. And as long as you're doing it responsibly, people do it responsibly. Nobody needs to get into any issues and ruin the fun, so to speak. A couple of quick announcements. National Open Chess Championship starts today through the 14th of June, and our friend Ben is there. That's Karen's husband. And he's gonna, he's a chess master. So I'm sure it's going to be lots of fun chess over at the Westgate the next couple of days. Also, be reminded the TDA Summit at Poker Go Studio is June 29th and 30th. And of course, our pal Matt Savage, hopefully Hall of Fame nominee and inductee this summer. Don't forget to put his name on the ballot. Is going to be running things over there. I'm sure it's going to be great as it was in years past. So that's the TDA Summit. Pardon me. I got a little frog in the throat. Before we hit the ground running with Dibz, I do want to make one more announcement. And it's about a tweet that Victoria Lifshitz put out. And I'm paraphrasing. She said, two guys at her table were playing on the WSOP online app. They were friendly and showed each other their hands discussing their holdings. They are not colluding in their minds. Ay, 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 ay. How could they not think they're colluding? But anyway, thought that was an interesting tweet by her. And people, if you're sitting at the table playing WSOP and you happen to be on the same table as your neighbor online, which was the case in this story, you can't discuss hands while you're in the hands. Like, come on, it's colluding. It's definitely colluding. Okay, I'm moving on. And I'm going to welcome our guest today, Josh Dibble, aka Dibz. Grew up in Michigan, and he's been in California for about 22 years. He earned his degree in applied economics and data science from UC Berkeley. In real life, Dibz is the director of data analytics for a big tech company. In his spare time, he managed somehow to co found a modular AI computer company, co create the Ape Reunion and Reunion GG. Oh, and now he's releasing the Edge app to the poker world. He really should consider doing something with his life. His head to mob, although new, he has $1,565 in total life earnings. But I know that he had a finish of 199th place out of 2,450 entries. Easy for me to say. In event number one, the $550 mini mystery millions a couple of weeks ago, it hasn't hit his head to mob yet, but I did want everyone to know he did have a cash recently. Is he new to the poker world playing poker? Yes. And guess what? We love it. We love new players, Dibz, and welcome.
Wow, thank you so much, Sherry. And I'm very excited to be here. I had zero idea that you were going to flash the Hendon Mob thing out there. And so, yeah, it's pretty cool. I will say this, as somebody just getting back into the game as of April in 2025, to now to be able to cash a few WSOP tournaments and even make a final table at one of the circuit stops. I mean, I don't go to these things all the time. Like this is all sort of new territory for me. I was like a kid in a candy store. I'm like, this is really happening. So I don't care if it's $1. I'm pumped, you know.
As you should be. And I'm just going to let you off the hook by telling you I've actually interviewed somebody. I'm not going to call her out because she does a lot in the poker world. And when she was inducted to the Women's Hall of Fame, Jan Fisher did her introduction, and she talked about her Hendon Mob and the fact that she doesn't have one, but yet she's being inducted into the Women's Poker Hall of Fame. So let me just tell you, it's not always about the numbers. And Hendon Mob doesn't reflect cash games or tournaments that, that operator's not reporting. So don't be so hard on yourself. And guess what? It's a starting point and not an ending point.
Yeah, and I think it actually tells a really good story in what we're talking about today. I didn't really overthink this because you gave me the best advice. You said, don't overthink it in our chat yesterday or the day
Right.
before.
But
But
what was wait. Don't overthink it. Why? Because you're going to be talking about the one subject you know the most about yourself.
that's correct. That's
Right.
true. But it tells a good story because, like I said, I only re-picked up the game last summer, and it's not that I never played before, but to be able to go from like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. The game has changed immensely. There's GTO. There's a lot happening. People know this game a lot more better than they did 20 years ago when I
Right.
first started playing this game. To then, hey, I'm gonna build the right tools that I need to go from just a regular guy who loves poker to a poker pro, which is the journey I'm on. And I'm not a poker pro today, but it's those little wins, cashing, final tables, and the other part of the Hendon Mob thing is they can't see your online tournament winnings. They can't see your live cash games. And so yeah, I mean there's always more to the story, right?
Absolutely. And I love when people say, "Oh, I looked at her Hendon Mob," because I live in a state that we don't have legalized poker. Like, I have the closest poker room to me is a 3 hour drive. And so I love when people refer to my Hendon Mob because it tells absolutely no story about my poker. And guess what? Now they're underestimating me because, oh, I looked at at her Hendon Mob, and go ahead, look, please look, please, please, please look. Because when I see you on the felt, you're going to underestimate me because of that Hendon Mob, and I'm good with that. So tell us how you got started in poker, Dibz.
When I was 18 and just graduated high school, I found myself living in a house of dudes where all we did is play poker, and I had no idea what I was doing, but I went from not knowing poker to we hosted 5 tournaments a night at our
Oh my
house.
God.
We
Jesus.
hosted so many tournaments that the neighbors thought we were dealing drugs, and my poker game got swatted one night
Oh no.
before swatting was a thing for streamers and all this stuff. And so we hear a knock at the door. I mean, we're playing on like kitchen tables and foldable tables.
Right.
We're not playing on super fancy stuff. And yeah, that was quite the experience of everything just getting flipped over in the house, etc. But from there, I really kind of got the bug, and somebody gifted me the Brunson super system, Doyle Brunson, the big Bible of poker
Yeah.
back in the day. So I read that and then just continued to play like crazy until I met a semi-professional poker player who started kind of being a little bit of an inspiration. And I took all those lessons and started playing full time as much as I could across the border in Canada at 19 years old. And I'd spend an enormous amount of time in the casino playing that I couldn't play in the United States because I wasn't 21 years old. I think things have changed now, actually, in Michigan and these other states because they have these charity card rooms, and even like at native casinos, there's different places where the age is actually only 18 now. And I didn't
Right.
have that, but I played my butt off for a long time, and I never played big tournaments at all, not in my life until even this last year. So this is all new territory on the tournament scene. But I've always been a cash player. Um, I actually put the game down when I was 20 years old from a serious perspective. I decided for various reasons that I wasn't going to overly dedicate myself. I also you have to find a way to pay for this sport. You have to bankroll yourself. And
All right.
as 20-year-old kid without GTO Wizard and all of these things or tools like Edge Poker, you have a lot working against you. And so I ended up doing a lot of different things, carrying a lot of different jobs. I actually met my wife at a poker game that I was playing, like a charity poker game. The only way that I could really impress this beautiful redhead when I was 24 years old, who had just graduated at college in like 3 years and 2 degrees, was that I played enough poker at the Venetian in Vegas, and I could go there and get a pretty sweet room for something that I could afford, and we'd get put up in these really fancy rooms. And over the years, I played off and on with friends. I used to take rock climbing trips to Las Vegas, and my buddies and I would always play poker in the evenings, but I never got too attached to it.
Right.
I never let it sort of become this thing that I wanted to be excellent at, or that I really cared about, or even beyond the table, a place where I'm going to invest in other players from a friendship standpoint and care about the people around me and care about the dealers. It was always just, you know, very myopic and very self-centric in the past, and it was fun. And this last year, something really shifted, and I was like, I really want to do this. I really like this sport. I'm an analytics guy. I'm a thinker. I'm a perfectionist, which is a good thing and a bad thing to some
Right.
degree in poker. But all of these things in my life kind of led me to this point where I just turned 40 years old last week. And for the first time in my life, or, in the last like 8 months, I'm like, man, poker is really my thing. Like, this is how I spend my free time, the little free time I have. This is a really great game. I love the thinking. I love how it challenges me. I love the lessons that it teaches me in life, not just, hey, you got to keep your bankroll up or this and that, but it's a very humbling thinking. You got to be on top of your game sport if you want to compete at high levels. And I'm not competing in high stakes or anything, but I'm putting my best self out there when I'm playing poker and when I'm sitting down in these tournaments and giving it my all. So that's the quick version of. Is it the quick version? I think it's the long version, but
It's okay. No worries. No worries at all. Um, do you play mixed games?
a little bit. I only in the last year started playing PLO.
Okay. All right. Um, Tell us, okay, I first of all, I missed the space with you guys on Saturday when you're kicking off with the Green Visor gang, but I was doing a real life mom thing. My daughter's in town from Washington State coaching an intense tennis team. It's a new thing, shot in a sound stage here in Atlanta, and unfortunately, not fortunately, whatever, I missed your space and the Green Visor Gangs kick off with your app. And we're going to get to that app in a minute. But before we do, I want to learn a little bit more about you. And I'm just going to tell you, I know your life and many lives in this space are NFT lives. That is not me. Okay. So I am a blank page when it comes to the NFT world. And you could just ask any of those lovely Green Visor gang members who know me the last couple of years. I love to learn new things. And I love the fact that the Green Visor gang is bringing the NFT world and the poker world together. I love that whole thing. And they, will testify that I do, and I'm sure you already know. But I want to know, let's start from maybe the Ape reunion and reunion GG. I'm a blank page. Tell me what those things are.
Yeah, no sweat. I mean, back in 2021, NFTs really hit mainstream when you started seeing people collecting pictures of monkeys that are now worth $30,000 or $1 million. And so I got involved because I was an early. I'm early is maybe the wrong word. I started using crypto and buying Bitcoin and all this stuff back in 2016. And by 2018, I had started participating in the NFT side of the world. And there was a pretty decent gap there before it became mainstream again. And when it did, it brought out all of these scammy people who would start a project, and somehow that maybe they had access to an artist, or they would hire somebody on like Fiverr or some website where you can outsource work, and they would create art and falsely create a community, do this launch of their product, and have all these people buy it, and then do what's called rug it, where they just literally take all the funds, transfer it out, delete the Twitter, delete the Discord, all this stuff. And that started to become a very heavy tone in the crypto space late 2021 and early 2022. And I myself was a part of a community where that happened, and I didn't overly invest, but coming from the background of collecting sports cards and Pokemon cards and stuff, this was like a fun thing to me. And then it became even better when I started meeting the other people who are participating in it. You have these communities that you get involved in.
Right.
And when the rug got pulled out from under me in a project in late 2021, I said to myself, this is so stupid. These guys don't even know what they have. Like, they have these amazing people who want to market their brand, who are in there all the time, congratulating them, like telling other people to get involved. They're not even building anything serious, and they're rugging their projects. I work in tech. Like, I could build the same thing way better and provide a way more wholesome, better experience that would give more credibility to the NFT space. And so that's what I did. I actually met somebody in that first project that we got rugged, and he became somebody that I co-created this project called Ape Reunion with. And the idea of Ape Reunion was just to provide a free asset, art in this case, to people, and to create a community around it. And we had already decided before launching this whole thing that we were going to make the best pixel art, and that we were going to do technical things that nobody has done in their project, that we thought were really low lift things that other people, scammers, would market as these like mind-blowing feats that were like very easy for us. And we're like, this is a joke. Like, these people are selling like just scams, basically.
Right.
And so we ended up, so we created the project as a free project. It was the first free launch on Ethereum, which is one of the bigger crypto tokens. And we ended up creating a community of 30,000 people, and went on to be sort of the most front-facing founders in a project at a time when everybody just hid behind PFPs or pseudonym names, and you never really knew who was behind the thing. And there was some fun to that mystery, and so we played into that a little bit. But ultimately, we put ourselves out there and built a real brand, and said, hey, we're not just going to do this from the lens of we're going to charge you a bunch of money up front. We're going to let you get this thing for free, and then we're going to provide enough value that you want to stay in and participate in the future things that we're doing. And the biggest future thing that we did is we built an entire massive online gaming ecosystem that uses all of our NFT characters that came in your profile picture form. They actually are playable in game. And so we've been iterating on this thing for 4 years. Since then, we've hosted events, like in real life events for like up to 500, 600 people in New York, Miami, Atlanta, LA. I mean, we've hosted really big community events all over, and did the whole networking thing and provide another layer to what we built so that people can meet each other. And you end up meeting some really fascinating people in the crypto world. And some people are just doing interesting things. Some people have a lot of money, some people don't, etc. But it's a really cool space in terms of networking. So yeah, we've been building in the Web3 crypto space for over 4 years now, and have actually built an incredible name in a place where there's just so much turnover and distrust, etc. So
So let
yeah.
me ask you a couple other things. So you guys are the shit in that world, aren't you?
I don't know about that. I mean, we just
Ah,
didn't.
don't be bashful.
We're very
That's what I'm
stubborn.
hearing here. I'm hearing that you guys are the shit in that world of crypto and NFTs. And guess what? Kudos to you and your hard work. How big is your community? How many people would you say? Or how do you judge that? I don't even freaking know. So, how big is your community, would you say?
Our community consists of around 3,000 NFT holders, so unique NFT holders. And at one point, we had like over 30,000 people in our Discord. And for the safety and the security of everybody, we actually pruned it and trimmed it down to like 5,000. So um, that is our direct community that I would say holders. And then, we have our social media channels, et cetera, that we literally grew from 0 to like 30,000 followers, et cetera, which isn't crazy, but that grassroots, like we're grinding. We had to grind to get there.
And I love it. I love it. And guess what? Hard work pays off. You guys are testimonial to that for sure. And it never hurt anybody to work hard. That's for sure. That is absolutely for sure. So tell us what the Reunion GG is, what that project is.
Reunion GG is the actual gaming entrance for the NFT. So prior to the game, you basically just got these pixel art images that we turned into animations, and then we turned those characters into actual game characters so that if you own the picture or the NFT, you get to go use that character in the game and collect things that belong to that character, etc. So Reunion GG is the portal where you enter this big online multiplayer massive world that we built.
Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that explanation for sure. Before we get into the Edge app, I want to say it's probably Isaac in the Playful Playmates account, but it could also be Max. So, welcome, Playful Playmates, whoever you are.
Yep. What's going on, everybody? Good morning.
Hey, good afternoon there,
So,
mister.
yeah, I know it's afternoon on your side. My God.
Yes, sir. You doing okay, bud?
Yeah. We're doing pretty good today. I mean, I woke up. I woke up. Life is beautiful. But yeah,
Life is
hope
good.
everybody's good. And yeah, shout out to everybody. Hope everybody's been having a good day so far.
Hey, you got time for a phone call this afternoon?
Oh yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. Dibs. Before we talk about Edge, there is another question because ASG was talking about this earlier with Barry, who is into Bitcoin. So he wanted to ask somebody that was into Bitcoin. What do you think of this new relationship with the WSOP with just got sponsored by, is it Solano
Solana.
Bitcoin?
Solana.
Solana. Thank you. Is that good for the players? What do you have an opinion about that?
I don't think it hurts anything. The more ways that players have to pay for tournaments and participate in the poker world, it's not a bad thing. I mean, the only thing I could say here, and you could say that make the same argument for regular money, is that, hey, do we know where this money is coming from? And so people have this perception that, crypto is used for bad things, and that, can I verify the source of funds? Like we just saw the other night, right? I think her name is Brittany with
Yes, on
over
the
the
H. Yes,
yeah, so like things like that, it's like if she's showing up with 100 grand in crypto and wiring it to cash to the casino and converting, or wiring that and converting it to chips, that's super cool. The other thing I'll say is I had the opportunity to play poker in Morocco in January of this year, and being able to wire funds really quickly, that was super cool. So the more people that we can get involved, I mean, yeah, of course, we want to see these fields blow up. I'd much rather pad the field with more registrants from other sources of money, like digital money, than max late registration that keeps stacking me.
right, right, absolutely. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Let's move on to your Edge poker app.
Um,
Would you explain what it is to everybody?
Okay, let's do it. Edge Poker is an app that I built to help me go from what am I doing at the poker table to I feel very good when I sit down. I have a training partner and I have a way to track all of my progress from where I start today versus where I end up in a year or 5 years from now. And the reason I started building it was after playing poker from around August of last year more diligently. Like I started committing every Friday and Saturday night. I spend my time at the casino. My wife was super supportive to in October going to my first ever WSOP circuit stop in Lake Tahoe and getting that whole experience. Um, I started to realize very quickly, okay, I'm getting better, but I need better tools to track what I'm doing. I need a better way to track my sessions. I need a better way to learn about the game. I need a better way to study GTO. And it's not that there are not apps that exist already. The difficulty for me was that either one, the apps that exist from the tracking side felt very generic and very accounting-esque to me. And I'm like, why would I pay $9.99 a month for a glorified spreadsheet accounting tool? Like I can just do this in Google Sheets. And there's an experience that I wanted, which was like this luxurious app. It feels like it's made for a poker player, not an accountant. So I wanted that first and foremost. Secondly, of course, I was using things like Postflop Plus, GTO Wizard, and these are all amazing tools that people have at the disposal. But when you start adding up these membership fees, they get expensive quick. And even as somebody who makes reasonably okay income, I also have to be aware of like how much am I spending on poker apps every month? I got $99 going to Club WPT Gold. I have $99 going to Upswing Poker. I have $49 a month going towards GTO Wizard. I have $35 a month going towards Post. I mean, this stuff adds up quick. And so I thought there's got to be a better way because I can't use all these different apps and fumble between them. And then on top of that, using the Notes app in my phone as a way to log hands or journal entries or things I want to improve on and learn about. I need a place where I can do this and it feels like it's made for a poker player and it's made for the modern game. Because the other thing that I started to do, and this is something I want to say a lot of people are doing. They're going into whether it's Claude or ChatGPT before or after their session, and they're asking about a hand, or they're asking about equity in a pre-flop odds in a hand, or they're asking, this thing happened to me. How do I get better? Or how should I play against this player? And so I myself, as a tech guy, was using AI, and I'm at the World Series in Lake Tahoe for my first time ever, competing with, good poker players, not just your average, regular, average as well, but a lot of really good talent. And I'm over there in the corner using ChatGPT to help and make decisions on breaks and think about, okay, your stack is dwindling, you're in a push shove territory, blah blah blah. And so I just decided to build my own app that brought all of that context into one place so that I could track all of my sessions, not just track my profit and loss, but actually use that and say, here's how you get better. I created an entire study hub in a corner of the app called Edge Builder, where you have all different stack depths for cash and tournament of GTO training for pre-flop. You have actual table training for GTO pre-flop there. You also have in the same app the ability to track all of the players that you play against, all of the things that you're learning in poker, all of your journal entries, etc. And the reason that it became way more powerful than I realized is that When you go to ChatGPT and you ask these one-off questions, you're not getting a really great response. And in fact, you'll see that many poker coaches and reputable players recently have started to make the case that AI is not good at helping you get better at poker. And that is true to an extent, but it becomes the story changes when AI has access to all of your training progress, all of your session history, important hands that you're logging, um, lessons that you're learning in the game, results from tournaments, etc. All of a sudden, layering AI on top of all of this other basic tooling that you need as a poker player, you can start to get some really good outputs. And so I decided I wasn't going to fight the current. I'm already a big AI fan, and it's providing information for me that's 99% better than what I'm going to get from the random guy at the casino or the random video on YouTube sometimes. And so rather than fight it, I understand that this is where we're going in a sense, and that people maybe want to use a tool where it's not just going to give you one-off random half good information. We're going to bake in all of the stuff that is meaningful and give AI access to it. And even if you don't use AI part of the app, you still have, I think, a better tracking and training app than pretty much any mobile app that's out there. So yeah.
Okay, so you mentioned looking at like my opponent's data. So where's that coming from? Are you tracking it through like if I plan on GVG's site or on their club or WSOP's app, or where is that data coming from that you're looking at my opponent versus me?
So it's not data coming from any database, it's player profiles that you would set up. So if I
Okay,
was
got
if
it.
I was playing you, Sherry, I would make a player profile for Sherry. If I played you every week, I'm most certainly going to make a player profile for you.
Got it.
And then I can add tells. There's a list of, there's like 200 tells that you can choose from that are categorized, and they're super easy to add to somebody's account that if you're paying attention to that stuff, you'll pick up on. You can just make generic notes, etc. And then if you want, you can hit the scouting report button, and AI is going to look at that information about that player and say, here's how you might think about playing this person.
Tell us what the pre-session briefings are.
A pre-session briefing takes all of your in-app data, specifically from the last 10 sessions that you played, and it takes a look at all of your study and training progress in the app. It looks at some of your journal entries, whether they're tied to a session or just a standalone journal entry about maybe something you're studying in poker or something you're learning. And you can, on your way to the casino or before you leave your house, say, give me a pre-session rundown of how I should be thinking about playing tonight. And it's your pep talk or a coach advising you, basically. Like if I were to call up a buddy and say, hey, I'm heading to play 3-5 right now, this, that, and this, they might give me some feedback. And in this case, AI is giving you that feedback based on real data that you're tracking in the app, and saying, hey, you might consider taking more spots here tonight. You should probably be aware that you've been doing this in the last couple of sessions. If you're learning about this one thing, and you haven't mastered it yet, be careful here. And it's basically just giving you sort of like a playbook, not the perfect playbook, but a way to sit down into your game confidently and not just get straight off your computer and go to the table.
Love it. Okay, so um, you talk about the analytics and bankroll portion of it. So, are you collecting data from the user, like their buy-ins, their wins and losses, and would that data be able to be, turned into an end of the year report for an accountant or no?
Yes and no. First
Okay.
things first, I'm not collecting anybody's data from their device at all. The
Okay.
only data that leaves the phone in transit, which is encrypted and is not stored in my database or anything, is when you make an AI call, if you're using some of the premium features, because AI needs to see your session history, maybe the players that you're saying you're playing against, all those things that we talked about. But I'm not tracking any of that. Actually, one of the coolest parts about this app is that everything lives on the user's device, and there are automated backups of all of that data happening on that device, so that if you ever lose it or you want to export it to another app or export it to a spreadsheet, you can do that. And then as far as the accounting portion, I would say that the analytics are not quite ready for an accounting perspective, but maybe I'm mistaken about that, because once you export your session data, you're going to have a very rich history of your buy-ins, your finishes, the exact dates, the timestamps, the duration, etc. So from that lens, yes, but there's not a button that says it's time to do taxes.
Right,
You
right,
know,
right, right. It's January 1st. Print out your data.
but I will say that the analytics are good, very good. I mean, this is my career. Is I'm a data engineer and an analytics, a data professional. So I wanted to be able to see these important trends and be able to click into these charts and see how many sessions have I played here. Where am I most profitable? Where do I need to clean things up? Like, how long am I spending in these games and at what casino, etc. So the analytics are good, and it wouldn't. I think that with the export, you could do some of that accounting work, and you know, this is just the beginning of this app. So
I love it. And for those that are listening, if you have any questions or comments for Dibz, please request a microphone. And for those that are on the panel, I'll come around to you in just a moment for any comments or questions you may have. I want to know about your monthly subscription. So I was kind of gathering when I was looking at like researching for this interview that you can kind of pick and choose what your subscription looks like every month. Am I correct in that?
yep, there's really just two options. It's free or premium, and free gets you access to the majority of the app. Like, you can track all of your sessions. You're not limited to just 2 or 5 or 10 sessions like some of the other apps that then make you pay to convert to track. You can use the entire study hub for free. Um, Once you activate premium, you get access to all the GTO stuff, get access to all the AI features, and that currently costs $4.99 a month or $25 annually, which breaks down to less than $2 a month. So to put that in comparison to like the other apps that are on the iOS App Store that people are using, um, it's the cheapest one that could possibly exist, with an insane amount of extra features that none of these other apps have, as far as the AI tooling built on top of your data, the ability to log hands so quickly and easily. I mean, the list goes on and on as far as like what this app is capable of doing for this price.
Okay, folks, I'm going to read the list down because I actually typed it up because I was like, wow, this really has a lot to offer. So I'm going to read the list of what's on that Edge app: AI scouting reports, AI pre session briefings, GTO trainer and charts, Study Hub, which has flashcards, which I think is an interesting concept, session tracker, live sessions, session detail and hand logger, analytics and bankroll, poker journal and AI coaching, tournament timer, tournament setup, reference and strategy, complete control, and your data your way. It's an involved app that I think checks a lot of boxes for what players want and need. I've never used an app like this. I'm just going to tell you, I've had I've not used the GTO trainer and charts and all that stuff. I'd have to get up at 1 a.m. instead of listening to Turbo Space. I would have to be doing these apps because my days are booked. So anyway, and I definitely don't want to miss out on Turbo's spaces at 1 a.m. So anyway, Dibz, you want to comment on any of those topics I just read out?
Yeah. So it it finally happened about 3 weeks ago that I completed all of the features that I sort of dreamed for this app, and all the AI stuff became second to just, can I track my sessions and can I see analytics? Because I don't want to pay $9.99 for a month for an app that's not serviced anymore, or is just not really that great to use, in my opinion. Um, I I will say that there is a lot of study material. So I'm not a pro, I will admit that, and this material is getting better and better. But for the price, it's almost unbeatable, especially when you consider that it's free to do all of that study material. And so you can take all of those flashcards and you can take the quizzes and you can take the exams after you work through all of the different components of Edge Builder. And you can even take the guided journey with the Genesis journey that I added in there, which guides you through from a foundation level. How do we start today from I'm just getting into the game to I'm going to actually understand all of these different things? Doesn't mean you're a poker pro, but it does mean that you have scanned and digested and spent time studying this material. And I guarantee it's going to help you at the table. There's really not a lot that I left out of this app. I would say that my goal was to make it the only app I need for poker outside of a website where you can actually play poker. So, I mean, I even have it sending me daily notifications to my home screen with random tips. So if I don't have time to study this morning or after work, I at least got that tip on my home screen, and I'm thinking about that. And I have to admit to you, Sherry, I'm in the same boat. That you're gonna laugh at my reference here, but before this app, I used to only be able to study, a couple minutes a day. And when were those minutes? It would be when I was sitting on the toilet. I would open Postflop Plus and I'd run a couple hands and then I'd go back to my desk. Now I'm finding that, like, when I get done with work, I have no problem blocking out 30 minutes or even 15 minutes and going over to the GTO trainer side and running different scenarios for myself. And I don't have to know a lot about poker to go set up those scenarios. Like, you kind of need to know a lot to set up some of these spots using tools like GTO Wizard. They're amazing. I use those tools as well, but I try to make it as easy as possible to use it if you want to use it to get better, but also just use it to track your game and to actually not just see how much am I winning and losing, but how do I get better at this game.
I love it. I love it. Okay, a couple of things, housekeeping, y'all. Um, I have posted on my Twitter page a video that it's from the WPT site. It's a video that of a bulletin, not a bulletin board, a billboard that WPT Gold has put in place on Las Vegas Boulevard. In the comments of that tweet is a poll. Please, everybody, go take my poll. Please, please, please go take my poll for the fun of it. Also, Joey had to go, and I appreciate him and his lesson today and the time he spent with us. And in the comments in the purple pill, he put the link for everybody to go download a free copy of his book. The book is titled Poker Dance. And all he asks is if you could leave a review after you read the book. So that's a freebie, y'all. Go download it. So now we're going to go back to Dibz. I'm going to go around the horn to see if anybody has any questions or comments. If you're in the audience and have a question or comment, please request a microphone. You are more than welcome to join us. Barry, any questions or comments for Dibz? He may be at a poker table too. Barry, you still there, buddy? No worries. How about you, ASG?
Um, yeah, I don't have any comments. Sorry.
It's okay. ASG's at his work desk as well in his office. So, we expect it. How about you, Isaac? You there, buddy?
I like the life check. Yeah, yeah. Actually, honestly, what I love about Dibs is he explains the shit out of stuff to the point to where I kind of don't have questions, bro. Like, yo, thank you, Dibs. You know what I mean? You're the man for that. Real shit though. But um, I mean, aside from that, just the fact that like I've been saying from the beginning, I think that this app crushes. Honestly, it sounds too fluid in terms of like the user interface. So hella dope. I just want to see what else happens, and it's cool to hear all the history behind my man as well. So hella dope, hella dope.
Absolutely. And I agree. Love the explanations we're getting here because Isaac will tell you, I know nothing about some of this stuff. And so if I'm learning today, you're doing a good job, Dib. So thank you. Oh, appreciate you, buddy. Is there anything else you want to tell us about? I don't want
Uh,
us to miss anything.
I would just say, yeah. So this app is currently only available on the iOS App Store. So you need a iPhone to use it currently. I think the next version will be downloadable on Android, and I'll work on getting that out probably after I finish my WSOP ambitions this summer because I have 3 more weeks booked in Vegas myself this summer, and so it's a little hard to focus on building an app, holding my day job, and doing all the responsibilities I have there, being a husband, doing all, being a. I have too many things going on. I gotta trim it down, basically. But the other
I can
thing,
relate. I can relate to that. Go ahead.
no. If you go to the App Store, you're looking for Edge Poker app. And once you download it, if you use the code all capitals WSOP26, you'll get access to Edge Premium for free for 2 months. And you just can try it. You can see if you like it. You don't have to pay for anything. You're going to get a reminder before the premium free membership ends even multiple times so that your credit card doesn't get charged $4.99. Like I made sure that people weren't going to be hammering me with messages about I accidentally forgot to cancel or I want a refund. Like I'll do it, but I'm trying to stay out of the weeds of that myself. So you're going to get reminders and you can just try it and you can see if you like it. A lot of players are already tracking their games. They're using some of the other tools that are out there like Poker Bankroll Tracker, Analytics 6, etc. Um, you can import all of the data from those apps super easily. If you go to the settings tab, you can see that there's a full import data function so that you can see even if you're not going to use it, you can export from one of those other apps, import into Edge and say, do I like how it looks? Is this better than the one I'm using now? And if you encounter any hiccups along the way, let me know. And I'd love to help you with that. And yeah, I mean, Sherry, thank you for allowing me to talk about it today. This was something that I realized I needed. I also plan on getting a poker coach on top of this. So I'm not saying this is a replacement, but there's a time and a place for a live poker coach meeting. And there's a time and a place for having a superpower in my pocket that can help me study ranges on dinner breaks and just make sure that when I just got done playing for 3 days straight, 14 hours a day, that I'm sharp and that I have the right tools at my disposal. And so this app, hopefully, the story is that it helps you. And I also hope that it helps me go from I'm going to get back into this game and I'm going to compete at some of the highest levels and become a pro myself
I
over the
love
next
it.
couple of years.
Love it. And folks that are listening now or listening in the future when you hear the replay, when you download this app, and of course, you could take the 2 free months and you're going to use the code WSOP26, come back and let us know. come give us your feedback. Come tell us what you think. Are you enjoying it? Is it, you using it, 100 hours a day because you loving it so much? Like, come tell us what you think about it. I know that Dibs will appreciate that feedback as well, because guess what? He wants his product to be good. And without input, we can't make changes or we can't elaborate on the good stuff even more. So definitely get back with us. Come visit my space and say, hey, I've been on Dibs, Edge Poker app. It's fantastic. Like, come tell us, folks. Come tell us. Dibs, I appreciate your time today. And I'm looking forward to meeting you face to face at the meetup game on the 26th at the Bellagio. Go ahead, Dibs.
I can't wait for that either. I didn't think I was going to be able to make that game, and so the fact that I am now is pretty cool.
I love it.
The only last thing I wanted to say
Sure.
is I haven't marketed this thing. I've barely just finished in I'd say the last month, putting in all of the final cleanup features. I mean, there's hundreds of people using this thing, which is I don't even understand. I'm like, it's mind blowing. Um, every person that plays poker that I've showed this to, the first thing that they say for the most part is, this is way better than what I'm using right now. And that's typically coming from a tracking standpoint, maybe not so much the training side, because there's really amazing tools out there and really amazing communities like GTO Lab and pokercoaching.com. They're all amazing. But nobody I've shown it to has been disappointed, and everybody has said it has helped them and that they enjoy using it.
Love it. Love it. All right. I'm going to do something I like to call rapid fire. Are you game?
Let's do it.
All right. And of course, you can answer or choose to pass. I'm going to give you a couple of choices. Please pick one or pass. Comedic movies, horror movies, or cowboy movies?
Probably cowboy movies.
How did I know? Burger or pizza?
Oh, pizza.
Do the dishes or do the cooking?
Do the dishes for sure. My wife is way better at cooking than me.
Nice. Beach or mountains?
Mountains. I live in the mountains and I love them.
Gummy bears or Sour Patch Kids?
Sour Patch Kids, because my wife would enjoy that.
Texting or phone call?
Undecided. They each have their own place.
I know that's right. I agree with that statement for sure. Your wife going to join you in Vegas in the meetup game or no? You're solo.
I think because of our animals, she's going to stay at home. We normally trade off. She goes to horse shows and rides horses. I go to poker tournaments now.
Got
She
it.
she may or may not make an appearance. We're trying to iron it out. It's you got to get a dog sitter. In our case, a horse sitter,
Yeah.
cats, all that stuff.
Yeah, it gets complicated sometimes when you leave home and you have animals, that's for sure. And probably one of the reasons that I have not revisited that topic in many, many years. I like to get up and go when I want to get up and go. And I'm at the age that I can do that. And, you know, I don't want to have to, worry about this animal or whatever. So I get it. I totally get it for sure. But let me just tell you, the older you get, the more you realize, oh, I can live without having a blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, you know, a little side deviation here. I was actually curious. I saw at a tournament I was at recently that somebody had their dog with them. This is at Horseshoe during
Okay.
event one of the World Series.
Yep.
And I'm a big dog person. I'm a big animal person in general.
Right.
And I just kind of thought I would never want to put my dog through this, but I also wouldn't want to leave them home unattended and if they have to go to the bathroom, etc. So like, what do you think of these dogs showing up to poker tournaments? Like, what happens if everybody starts bringing their pets?
Well, you're probably asking the wrong person this question. And those that have been around know how I feel about this, but I'll be happy to touch on it for sure. First of all, I have horrible allergies. You will never meet somebody that has more um, allergies and crazy allergies. I had a blood transfusion once. I had an allergic reaction to the blood transfusion. They tried another one the next day, had an allergic reaction to the blood transfusion. Okay. I took the flu shot 2 years in a row because the first year I had an allergic reaction, an asthma attack, but we didn't associate it with the flu shot until the following year when the same thing happened. So I have really bad allergies and I'm highly allergic to animals and dogs in particular. Dogs, cats, yeah, the works. So for me, it's a health issue. It's a health risk because I could be sent into an asthma attack, which could cost me my life. I'm also afraid of dogs.
Okay.
So, um, you will never meet somebody more afraid of dogs. And anybody that's been around me when I've been around a dog can attest to that. My kids will run interference for me when they see a dog. They will immediately step in front of me because they know how petrified I am. When I go to somebody's house for the first time, when I pull in their driveway, I call them and ask them if they have a dog. And then I ask them to put the dog away before I come in. That's how afraid of dogs I am.
Wow.
So for me, it is a horrible experience at a poker table if a dog shows up. Okay. Um, and it can be life threatening for me if I have an asthma attack.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the laws that are in place do not protect me. The laws in place protect the dog. You can't ask the owner to, move to another table. Like the laws are clear. The dogs have the rights. I, as a human, do not, which I also think need to be changed. I have no problem with protecting the dog, but it can't be to the detriment of someone else's health, right? And so, this is going to be brought up at the TDA meeting, and the laws that are in place, the ADA laws that are in place state that you can ask the animal owner 2 questions by law. You can ask them 2 questions, and one of them, I'm just paraphrasing, so forgive me if I don't have it correctly, word by word. But the one question is like, what service or or training, like what does your dog do for you? What is the dog trained to do for you? And that question has to be answered by, they open doors for me because I don't have, the capability with my hands, or they, sense my sugar is low so that I can make sure I get, something for my sugar. There are things that those dogs are specifically trained to do. And if your dog is an emotional support dog, they do not fall under ADA rules. So, the problem is the casinos have just never dealt with the issue before because there hasn't been many people bringing their animals. Okay. Now it's turned into a fad. It's a fashion statement to bring this cute little dog dressed in their pink and white pearls. And guess what? No consideration is selfish. Um, yeah, the casinos, the operators have to come up with a plan of action. I will tell you that I saw a sign at the Horseshoe in Southern Indiana, and I'm going to try to find it on my phone. But it's right when you come into the casino, and here, I'm going to read it. Caesars Southern Indiana welcomes service dogs. Only service dogs are allowed within the public areas of this property. A service dog is defined as one that is trained to do work or perform tasks for the individual with disabilities. Therapy dogs, emotional support dogs, and companion dogs are not service animals as defined as by the ADA, and are therefore not allowed the same accommodations. Now, what are the operators going to do? I don't know, but they've got to figure out a way to deal with it. And guess what? When I walk up to an operator and say, hey, I can't sit next to this person with the dog, I'm allergic, you know, are they going to give me a seat change? Well, then people are saying, well, but that people can use that as an angle now to get their seat changed. And so, yeah, what are we going to do, Dibs? What are we going to do?
It's this one is a tough one because, like I said, I'm an animal lover, but even I myself, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, I don't like that. But some people need it. And then I frown myself at the persons who sort of abuse the rule. But how can you really know? Is it our
Well,
place to know?
yeah, well, it is the operator's place. Now that it's becoming a problem, it is their place to protect all of the people in that poker room.
Yep.
And guess what? They're going to have to, teach their staff. And up until now, it's a hands off because they just don't want to deal with ADA, blah, 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 and be sued. Well, then teach your employees and your staff members what the rules and regs and laws are so that it can be dealt with appropriately. And guess what? An emotional dog, I'm sorry, maybe you shouldn't be in a poker room. If you need an emotional dog, maybe the poker room and gambling is not the place for you. And I'm going to tell you something, it's not fair to the animals. The ones that are trained, it's different, right? Because they're trained for certain situations. But the ones that are not trained, it's just not fair. Now, on the other hand, what are you going to do for me, the person allergic to that dog, afraid of that dog? I have rights too. What are you going to do for me to protect me? I matter. My health matters.
I agree. I think you're hitting all the right points. I'm very shocked because I thought it was going to be a quick yes or no answer, and you had a really great answer. So thank you.
Well, I appreciate that. And I'm going to reference something. There's a player who brings her emotional support dog with her, and the dog is not trained, and the dog bit somebody in the poker room.
Oof.
And she refuses to not bring the dog with her. And she made a video on her and she put it on her Facebook or her Twitter page about how it's her right to bring her dog, blah, blah, blah. She needs a dog, blah, 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 blah. Well, what about the safety of the people in the room? This is an emotional support dog. Stay home. If it is, I'm just going to say, and I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just saying, look, maybe the poker room isn't the place for you if you're so dependent on an emotional support dog. Like, take care of yourself. Absolutely. But you can't put people at risk. What about my health? What about me having an asthma attack because you think you should bring this dog with you for whatever reasons, valid or not? I matter too. Could you imagine? And I'm going to tell you something. Now that the world knows I'm allergic to them and scared of them, do you imagine the wrath I would bring down on that poker room if that dog that bit somebody already is allowed to be by me and ends up biting me? Yeah, go ahead with it. I mean,
All great points.
we've got to address it. We have to figure out a way. Um, within the laws, right? Because those that need, I have no problem with people that need the dogs that are trained and meet their requirements by law. I have no problem with that. But at the same token, those dogs put me at risk too. So now you have to address me and my needs. And what are you going to do about that? Plain and simple.
I think your voice matters here, Sherry. I hope you're at that meeting.
I will be at that meeting. There's two topics I'll be touching on, and that's one of them. That's why I was like, oh, you may have not wanted to ask me that.
No, that meeting's been on my radar. Even as a new player, I'm like, there's certain things that are happening, and this is actually relative to my app that we're talking about today. AI is happening whether we like it or not, and it's going to influence the game. And the question is it going to hurt the game? And one of the things that I didn't mention earlier that draws me to poker more than it ever has outside of my own desire and how much I love this game is we're moving into an era where computers and AI is just everywhere and everything. And I sort of believe and hope that the poker table will remain to be one of those few sacred spots where you get to have raw, authentic interactions with other humans where they have to do their own thinking in the moment with the information that's available to them. And there's nothing that can replace that. I mean, it's it's special for all the reasons in the game that we appreciate, but I hope that in 10 years AI hasn't infiltrated the game. And you saw even in the last month, you have headphones that can um, tell you what to do. You have Meta sunglasses that can record, and you can see a heads up display. And the WSOP is addressing these concerns, and I'm sure Run Good and MSPT and all these other entities are as well. But it's becoming there's a place for it in the game, and we have to know how to protect the game at the same time.
Right. And that is going to be a hot topic for sure at the TDA. Because it's not, it's the card protectors. Do they have cameras? Does somebody's ring have a camera and they're catching as the dealer is passing out the cards? Are they getting a look at the card because it's
Yeah.
too high off the table? I mean, there's so many things that technology is bringing to the poker table that's not positive, right? Because that brings on cheating. And so that is a big topic for Matt. I'm just going to tell you, Matt Savage that is one of his biggest topics. And quite honestly, I highly recommend you and anybody else attend that TDA summit. It is really a great bird's eye view on how the operators operate, how they are willing to listen, take criticism, take questions, give comments, explain. Because sometimes we don't like something, but once it's explained to us or the background is given to us, we can understand why it's happening. We may still not like it, but at least we have an understanding and maybe bring some tolerance to the subject matter. But it is, I went last year and I'm going to tell you, I hope I never miss another one. And some of us were talking that maybe they need to start having them annually because now there's just like the rule, the topics of discussion are just coming so quickly that doing it semi-annually doesn't seem like it's enough. So it'll be interesting to see if they vote on starting to have an annual TDA summit instead of a biannual. And I'm sure Matt Savage is probably going, no, because I'm sure it's a lot of work, right? But we'll see what they decide. But highly recommend you join us, Dibs.
Yeah, I'd love to. Even as a new player, I think having this perspective of I'm building an app and we're using AI in the app to help influence our game or at least our thinking and help us train and improve and all this stuff. Maybe I have a little bit of an insight to offer there. And but at the same time, who am I, right? I'm just a regular poker player guy.
Guess what? That's all we all are. I mean, that's all we all are. We are all people that play poker or work in the world of poker or whatever. I mean, your opinion, your knowledge base is just as important as mine or anyone else's that's going to be sitting in that room. So never sell yourself short for sure. And guess what? Sometimes some new eyes on a subject matter help the old eyes say, hey, that's a great point of view. So never sell yourself short, buddy.
Yeah, thanks. I'll hopefully I'll be there for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think it's, you know, one of the discussions, one of the discussions is going to be, or at least I heard this a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if Matt's changed it or not, but my understanding is we're going to be discussing whether operators should use women's tournaments or ladies' tournaments when they title a tournament for the women and ladies in poker. And I have very strong views on that. And I already wrote my speech for that one. Believe me, I wrote that speech like 2 weeks ago when they were talking about it. I was like, let me just write this down before I forget what my point is. But, um, you know, should we really get in the business of telling an operator what they should title a tournament? I don't think so. That's basically my point of view on that. Anyway, so Dibs, anything else you want to tell us, buddy? It's been a pleasure.
Nothing comes to mind. I feel incredibly humbled to be able to share this app with other people, especially being on your space, Sherry. I know all of the years that you've invested into poker and the WSOP and just the entire culture of poker. So thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Well, I appreciate your kind words, and I'm glad we got to know you and what you're doing to make things better for us. I'm glad we got to know all that today and get better familiar with it. I'm looking forward to follow up. Uh, Maybe in a couple weeks, we'll have you back on the panel. Of course, you're always welcome to stop in anytime and join us in our crazy, and give us any updates on your poker or your apps or whatever else you're doing in the middle of the night with the ape reunion GG, whatever. We're here to listen about it. So I appreciate you for joining us today so we can get to know you a little bit better for sure. It's been a pleasure, Dibs.
Thank you. You'll probably find me late night in a Green Visor gang
Hell yeah.
tournament or something.
Oh, yeah, those days are over for me right now until this WSOP is over. Let me tell you, I am working on this daily show and everything else I'm doing for this Vegas trip day and night, like literally 6 in the morning. And I think I finally finished at like 8:30 last night, and I jumped in the game late because I was still working on stuff. It's just stuff is flying high at me right now, and it's okay. It's all good stuff. I wouldn't change it, but yeah, so late nights on Green Visor Gang is on hold for right now, but it's okay. I look forward to seeing you on the felt for sure. Barry, you came back up. Did you have something you wanted to tell us about, buddy?
Yeah, I just switched hotels. I checked in at the MGM. I'm old and washed up right now, but back in my younger days, I created an NFT. I put it up in the nest. I was part of some type of Funchkins community. They were doing NFTs on Bitcoin, and we created this. We
Oh
acquired
my
the acquired the rights to Ghostface Killer's music, and we were able to use it in the NFT. So I figured that'd be fun for them to see.
I love it, Barry. Thank you for sharing that with us. Barry's coming in hot with NFTs and crypto, and you just never know what's up Barry's sleeve. And for sure, thank you, Barry. That's
Just hop
hilarious.
in the server, Barry. Stop playing with me. Just hop in the server, bro.
I love it, Isaac. So fun. Oh my God. You guys never cease to amaze me. And I love that about what we do around here. Um, you know, everybody's got things going on, and you just never know what those things are, right? Till you ask some questions, and all of a sudden we start finding out more about each other. And you guys have heard me say it a million times. The world of poker is big enough for all of us. I believe that about the NFT world, the crypto world. It's big enough for all of us, folks. Whatever you're into, that world's big enough for everybody. Everybody. I need to remind everybody of a couple of things. Don't forget on Friday, let me just read this little flyer. I'm so excited that Carrie Jane Craigie and the Hippodrome Casino of London gave me some stuff to give away. So we are giving away one entry to their boot camp and their supper, which is October the 17th of this year, and one 300, let's see, it's euro entry into the ladies event on October the 18th. So it's an all ladies weekend at the Hippodrome, pardon me, starting on Friday night, going through Sunday. And there's two ways you can get entered into the drawing for that poker package to the Hippodrome Casino in London. Be aware that airfare and lodging is not included. The two ways to get entered into the drawing is if you attend the seventh official Spaces meetup game, ladies will get 10 entries into the drawing. If you join my space this Friday, June 12th, and next Friday, June 19th, you can have a chance to win 3 entries on each of those dates. And of course, it's going to be like, I'm going to take pictures. If you're in the space, please retweet the space kind of thing to get the 3 tickets for that drawing on those both of those days. So a person can actually get 16 entries into the drawing. Now, let me be clear. If you're not going to London in October, we're not going to put your name in the hat. We want to make sure, because it's not transferable, and we want to make sure somebody uses this package, right? Because we want, hopefully, them to do it again in the future. So we want to make sure it's used and be thankful that somebody gets to use it. So if you're not going to London in October, please know we don't want you in the drawing. No offense. We just don't want this package not to be used. I hope that makes sense, you guys. And we are thankful for the folks over at Hippodrome for sure for that giveaway. Appreciate you guys. Isaac, you have anything you want to add, buddy?
Not just thanks to everybody that came out, everybody who got into the conversation with us today, and we will catch y'all tomorrow. Tomorrow I could do a segment if we have time for the
Yes,
next
yes,
casino.
yes, 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 yes. I love that. Yes, 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 yes. I love
And
that.
shout out to Joey, of course, for the daily lesson.
Absolutely. And what Isaac is talking about is his segment Inside the Neon with Isaac is going to give us history on one of the casinos in Las Vegas. And yes, we will definitely do that tomorrow, Isaac. I appreciate that. And I'm going to call you when I get off air. Are you good at that time or do you need me to wait till later?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And Barry, good luck today, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Keep us informed. Dibs, again, it's been a pleasure. Look forward to hanging out with you in the spaces, on the felt, at the meetup game in Vegas, all that stuff. And appreciate you stopping in today and giving us the 411, buddy.
You got it. Thanks again to you, Sherry. Appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. This is the White Oprah of the poker community, and you get a chip, and you get a chip, and you get a chip, and thanks, everyone.